You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on The Wind Rises. Hi Ruronis, this is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime review, I got another anime film directed by Hayao Miyazaki, which is part from the Studio Ghibli film catalog. For today's anime review is The Wind Rises. The Wind Rises is a 2013 Japanese anime historical drama film written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki, animated by Studio Ghibli for Nippon Television Network, Densetsu Hakuhodo, DY Media Partners, Walt Disney Japan, Mitsubishi, Toho, and KDDI, and distributed by Toho Company Limited. It was released on July 20th, 2013 in Japan, and it was released by Touchstone Pictures in North America on February the 21st, 2014. The Wind Rises is a fictionalized biographical film of Jiro Hirokoshi, the designer of the Mitsubishi A5M fighter aircraft and successor, the Mitsubishi A6M0, used by the Emperor Ayer of Japan during World War II. The film is adapted from Miyazaki's manga of the same name, which internally was based on the 1937 novel The Wind Has Risen by Tatsuo Hori and the life of Jiro Horikoshi. It was the final film directed by Miyazaki before his retirement in September 2013. However, in 2017, Miyazaki had come out of retirement to direct How Do You Live Life, which is expected to be released in 2023. So let's review The Wind Rises. In 1918, a young Jiro Horikoshi longs to become a pilot, but his nearsightedness prevents it. He reads about the famous Italian aircraft designer Giovanni Battista Caporoni, and dreams about him that night. In the dream, Caporoni tells him that he has never flown a plane in his life, and the building planes is better than flying them. 5 years later, Jiro is traveling by train to study aeronautical engineering at Tokyo Imperial University, and he meets a young girl named Nako Satomi traveling with her maid. With the Great Kanto earthquake of 1923 hits, Naoko's maid's leg is broken, and Jiro carries her to Naoko's family, leaving without giving his name. In 1927, Jiro graduates with his friend Kuro Honjo, and both are employed at the aircraft manufacturer Mitsubishi and are assigned to design a fighter plane, the Falcon, for the Imperial Army. During the tests, the Falcon breaks apart in midair, and the Army rejects it despite irritated about the seeming backwardness of the Japanese technology. Jiro and Honjo are sent to Germany in 1929 to carry out technical research and obtain a production license of Junkers G.38 aircraft. Jiro sees Hugo Junkers, argues with German guards, and witnesses violent anti-Semitism. He dreams of Caporoni, who tells him that the world is better for the beauty of planes, even humankind as might put them to terrible purposes. In the spring of 1932, Jiro is promoted to be chief designer for fighter plane competition sponsored by the Imperial Army, but his design, the Mitsubishi 1F, the 1MF 120, fails a testing in 1933 and is rejected. Disappointed, Jiro goes to a summer resort in Karuizawa to rest, where he meets Naoko again. Katsorp, a German visitor privately critical of the Nazi regime, thinks the summer resort is a good place to forget bad things, referencing The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. But in his name and his thought, he tells Jiro, who intends to visit Dessau, Dr. Junkers is in trouble for fighting Hitler's government and calls the Nazis a gang of hoodlums. Katsorp further tells Jiro that Germany will go to war again, and they must be stopped. Later, Jiro asks Naoko's father for his blessing to marry her, and the two are engaged. However, Naoko has tuberculosis and wants to wait until she recovers to marry. Castorp assists in the romance before fleeing arrest by the Japanese secret police. Wanted in connection, Katstorp, Jiro hides as at his supervisor's home while he works on the new Navy project. Following a lung hemorrhage, or whatever you want to pronounce it, Naoko recapitulates in the mountain sanatorium but cannot hear being apart from Jiro and returns to marry him. Jiro's sister Kayo, now a doctor, warns Jiro that his marriage to Naoko will end tragically as tuberculosis is incurable. Though Naoko's health deteriorates, she and Jiro enjoy their time together. Jiro leaves for the test flight of his new proto-aircraft, the Mitsubishi A5M, knowing that she will die soon. Naoko returns to the sanatorium, leaving letters for Jiro and her family and friends at the test site. Jiro is distanced from his success by a gust of wind, suggesting Naoko's passing. In the summer of 1945, Japan has lost World War II and has been devastated by air raids. Jiro again dreams of meeting Caproni, telling him he regrets that his aircraft was used for war. A group of Zeros fly past and their pilots salute Jiro. Caproni comforts him, saying that Jiro's dream of building beautiful aircraft was none of the less realized. Naoko appears, encouraging her husband to live his life to the fullest. So, For the Wind Rises was the highest grossing Japan film in 2013. It won and was nominated for several awards, including the nominations for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, the Golden Globe for Best Foreign Language Film, and the Japan Academy Prize for Animation of the Year. The Wind Rises was directed by Hayao Miyazaki, whose previous films include My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, and Spirited Away. It was the first film that Miyazaki solely directed since Ponyo in 2008. Miyazaki began to conceive a story and illustrate the life of Jiro Hirokoshi in 2008. He published the story as a manga, serialized in the monthly magazine Model Graphics from April 2009 to January 2010, with the borrowed title from Tatsuo Hori's novel The Wind Has Risen. The story in the manga follows the historical account of Hirokoshi's aircraft development up to 1935, the year of the Mitsubishi A5M maiden flight, and intertwines with fictional encounters with Caproni and Naoko Satomi. The scenes with Naoko in the manga were adopted from the novel The Wind Has Risen, in which Tatsuo Hori wrote about his life experience with his fiancée Ayako Yano before she died from tuberculosis. The name Naoko Satomi was borrowed from the female protagonist of another novel by Tatsuo Hori, Nahoko. Characters frequently discuss Thomas Mann's novel The Magic Mountain, and in a letter to Nahoko, Jiro names his fleeing the German friend Mr. Castorp after its protagonist. The character himself is a caricature of former Ghibli employee Stephen Alpert, who returned to Japan to voice the character. After the release of Ponyo, Miyazaki wanted his next film to be a sequel to Ponyo, On the Cliff by the Sea 2. But producer Toshio Suzuki proposed to adopt the manga The Wind Has Risen instead. At first, Miyazaki rejected the proposal because he created the manga as a hobby and considered its subjects not suitable for children. The traditional audience of the feature animations from Studio Ghibli, however, Miyazaki changed his mind and withdrew his objection after a staff member suggested that children should be allowed to be exposed to subjects that they are not familiar with. Basically, Miyazaki was inspired to make the film after reading a quote from Hirokoshi, "All I wanted to do was to make something beautiful." Oh, and the music in The Wind Rises, however, the film's score was composed and conducted by Joe Hisaishi and performed by the Yomiuri Nippon Symphony Orchestra. The film also includes singer-songwriter by the name Yumi Matsutoya, who has done music for her albums and the majority as well. So, for the thing about the music in The Wind Rises, however, The 1973 song Hikoki Gumo, Matsutoya has collaborated with Studio Ghibli before in the production of for Kiki's Delivery Service, which features her songs such as Rogue no Dengon and Yasi Sha no Tsutsumare Tanara. Producer Suzuki recommended Hikoki Gumo to Miyazaki in December 2012, feeling the lyrics resemble the story of The Wind Rises. The Wind Rises soundtrack was released in Japan on July 17, 2013 by Tokuma Japan Communications. So for the release of The Wind Rises, however, the Wind Rises has been have to be released simultaneously with the Tale of the Princess Kaguya, another Studio Ghibli film directed by Isao Takahata in Japan in mid 2013. This would have been the first time that the works of the two directors were released together since the release of the film, such as My Neighbor Totoro and Grave of the Fireflies in 1988. However, The Princess Kaguya was delayed until November 23rd, 2013, and The Wind Rises was released on July 20th, 2013. The film played in a competition at the 70th Venice International Film Festival. It had its first official North American premiere at the 2013 Toronto International Film Festival, although a sneak preview of the film was presented earlier at the 2013 Telluride Film Festival. The film screened outside of the official program. Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures distributed the film in North America through its adult film label Touchstone Pictures. The film's English dubbing was directed by Gary Rydstrom. Disney had held a 1 week release window in the Los Angeles theatrical circuit for the film at the beginning on November 8th, 2013, so that it could qualify for the Academy Awards consideration. The film was released theatrically on February 21st, 2014 in select cities with a wide release on February 20th, 2000. The film was released in the United Kingdom on May 9th, 2014 with a distribution by Studio Canal. Walt Disney Studios Japan released the movie on Blu-ray disc and DVD in Japan on June 18th, 2014. However, in the United States of America, Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment released The Wind Rises on Blu-ray and disc and DVD on November 18th, 2014. The Wind Rises was released includes the supplement features with storyboards, the original Japanese trailers and TV spots, behind a microphone feature with the members of the English voice cast in the video when the film was announced to be completed. The audio format for both English and Japanese language are in mono, DTS HD MA 1.0, even though Disney's North American rights to Studio Ghibli films that they own expired in 2017. However, Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment continued to distribute The Wind Rises until 2020, when G-Kids announced that they will be re-releasing the film on DVD and Blu-ray on September 22nd, 2020 with Shout Factory. The reason why it took longer for the re-release to do with the fact it was circulating a new film at the time, and Disney still hold the rights to the film in the United States. The film has grossed about 11.6 billion yen, as it was to 113 million US dollars at the Japanese box office, becoming the highest grossing film in Japan in 2013. Yep. So that's going to be it for my anime review on The Wind Rises, directed by Hayao Miyazaki for today. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts on The Wind Rises. When I first watched The Wind Rises, because Miyazaki realized that he was the last film to direct until he comes out of retirement, when he wanted to make something that'll come to his mind as well, because The Wind Rises is considered to be my fourth favorite Miyazaki film from the Studio Ghibli film catalog, in my opinion, because I have been enjoying every movie made by Studio Ghibli. Hope to subscribe for content. My anime plan link in the description down below. You can share this video on your Twitter and Facebook if you have Twitter and Facebook account and all social media. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button on this video. Feel free to leave in the comments in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RoniK95. Feel free to join my channel, especially if you're new to my channel. Hit the notifications bell and be sure to get notified on your emails. And keep it otaku for this anime review on The Wind Rises. And I got another anime review coming up. Stay tuned for tomorrow's anime review, which will cover another anime film directed by Hayao Miyazaki with tomorrow's anime review on Porco Rosso. Stay tuned for tomorrow's anime review on Porco Rosso, because you won't want to miss another anime review